Hi guys, so I'm taking another Java programming test. Actually, this is back to kind of basics. I'm principal software architect at 16 years, 4 months experience. So it's almost been about 78 days since I'm searching for a job. This has been the maximum time that I've been like across years. This has been the maximum time I spent to search for a job. Usually, my average has been around 30 to 40 days to get to a job. Obviously, this has to do with the COVID situation, but still, I see many jobs which are in line with my experience. So, using this free time to give as many tests and kind of go and cement my basics, revise the basics, and keep covering up on bits which are kind of for which I like kind of enhancing my knowledge in the basic level as well. So, in that same vein, I'm getting ahead with this IndiaBix online Java programming test. So, I'm starting the test now. So here is the number of questions. 20 questions in 30 minutes. The timer has started here. So what will be the output of this program? So they have final public int get result, and they have class B extends A and public int get result. So final cannot be overridden by a subclass method. Okay, cannot be overridden in the subclass. So it's compilation fails is the right answer. Let's move to the next question. So it is saying what the question is, what will be the output of the program? So we have to remember the associativity rules, left associativity. So this one is like starting with the string. So this will print uh, 7 plus 2. So it will start associating from the left to the right. So it's going to print 9. And then here it's A plus B. So which means 7. And here it's going to left associativity again. So it's going to print 7. So 9, 7, 7. And then it's going to print the output from foo plus A plus B. Now, in this case, the point is going to be that we are going to uh, get ahead with 9 and 3 plus 4 7, 9 7, and then we have sorry, this is left associativity, so it's going to print 7 and 2. So 7 and 2, which means this one and 7. So this seems to be the right answer here, D. Okay, because left associativity is going to make a string out of it. So it's going to come as 7 2, and then it's going to be 7. So this is the right answer. We don't check the remaining string here because we already know D is the only option. So let's go to the next question. What is the output of the program? So here we have an object bool array, and we are setting ba.b as 0. 0 is the index of the boolean array, which is going to be set to true. 0 and 2 are going to be true. During that time, we're going to update count to 2, and then we're going to call ba.test. So here it's going to check the, let's see, the short circuit operator. So it's going to be b0, which is true, and b1 is going to be false. True and false is false, and false or true is true. So count plus plus. So count is going to become 3. Now here it says b1 is false, so it's not going to go ahead with short circuit here. So it's going to be count equal to 3. Let's go to the next question. Which of the following statements are equivalent? So 3 into 4 is 12. 3 divided by 2 is 1. If you take it integer in an integer way, yeah, or like round off to 2, or rather 1 if it's going to be just taking the in part. 3, and so this is like a, this is 3 less than 2, which is going to return false, and 3 left shift 2. So 3 left shift 2, if you're going to calculate on paper, which I'm doing now, it's going to become, let's say, for a 4-bit string, 4-bit binary, 0011 is going to become 1100, which is going to become 8 plus 4 in a binary, which is 12. So here 3 and 4 are the same, 12. So let's go to the next question. It's going to, so here there is a public void foo, boolean A, boolean B. So, so the question is if A is true. So let's see, if A is true, it's going to come here, and if B, it's going to say A, and B is true, which is not going to have any impact on us. So if A is true and B is false, So if A is false, so it's going to come here and false. And if B is true, if B is false, okay, if B is true, if A is false and B is true, okay, and if B is false, then it's going to print out if B is true. So what it means is that if A is true, okay, if A is false, okay, so we branch down all the way to else part here, and we are going to check if not B. So if it is not B, it's going to print not B, and if B is true, okay, it's going to print else. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Question number 6. Here we have float of 12, so it's going to get converted to a float, but it will be something like 12.0 f, and so case 12. So case 12, case 0 default. So mostly here, what's going to happen is compile is going to fail. It's not going to. It cannot accept a float. At least not up to. I'm familiar with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm sure that there is string switch, but there's no float switch. I may be wrong, so I'm going to go with compilation fails. What will be the output of the program? So question number 7. So it says stat a method, throw new exception, finally, blah blah. Okay, try. So here's the public static void main a method. So a method is going to come here, it's going to throw an exception, it's going to print finally, exception and finished. Yeah, see. So what is the which statement is true for the class Java util array list? The elements in the collection are ordered. It's a true statement. It's not going to be unique. It's not going to be accessed in a unique map set. Immutable is not a. It's not going to be okay. I'm not sure which array I cannot remember right now, but array list is definitely mutable. So which is true about a method local inner class? So that is something I've not used in ages. But yeah, during SCJP, I would have come across method local inner class. So let's see. Uh, Obviously, it cannot be public. It cannot be static. Now, it must be marked final. Seems the right option. Okay, but that might be an optional step. It says it must be. It can be would have been the right answer. So yeah, it can be marked abstract. So it can be, yeah. So that is a game of English here rather. Okay. So question number 10. Which of the following line of code is suitable to start a thread? So we have a thread that its class X implements runnable. So we are going to just create an object out of, and we're going to say new thread dot run, and we're going to say t dot start. This seems to be the right option. Okay, what will be the output of the following program? So what will be the output of the following program? It's going back. Okay, yeah. What will be the output of the following program? Uh, New of thread, my thread, t dot start, t dot start. So you're going to start the thread 2 times. So it's going to return me an illegal thread state exception. Yeah, something of that sort. That a thread is going to be started 2 times. So we're going to say exception occurs at runtime. Question number 12. Class my thread extends thread. Class my runnable implements runnable. So what is going to happen here is that we have new my thread of start, my thread. So there are two different objects here. So to consider the thread objects are different. So they're going to start different threads. So my thread is going to start its own thread and going to say inside thread, and it's going to print. So there's a new my thread object is my runnable dot start. So it's actually going to start this thread, and it's going to run the this is a uh so my runnable implements runnable, and what it's going to do, it's going to call the run method. Now in this case we are having the runnable as well as the thread class implementing the run method. The priority is going to be taken by the my thread object. So it's going to print inside runnable. Sorry, it's going to print inside thread and inside thread 2 times. Okay, let's go to the next question. What will be the output of the following program? So new of thread of run, new of thread of run. Now there is two same objects which exist here. It says class S run new of S, and it's a shared object which is going to be passed to a and this S is of type runnable. So it's the same object and the same thread. Now the point is it's going to lead to a situation where I'm going to start the same thread, which means uh well, so there's thread T1. All right, so there's thread T1 and T2. S run equal to new of S, and we are going to oh well cannot determine output. Prints 12 12 12. I don't agree with that because this code here should ideally again cause illegal thread state exception, saying that the thread is already started. Now I'm not sure if I'm correct. So new of S and new of thread T1 start T2 dot start. Now what is going to happen here is that I don't see deadlock to be a situation which can occur here. Cannot determine output. It's not one of those thread questions where you can say not determine output. Now the two options which remain is B and C as per me. So 12, 12, 12. Okay, so that would have been an option if we can start these threads. Compilation error. I don't see a reason, but I'm marking. There's no logic behind this answer, but I'm marking it as compilation error. Okay, because if T1 dot start is going to start the thread, which is the same object, and I'm going to have a. All right, so let's see if class X implements unable, and what we are going to do is okay. So that is the logic. So T1 dot thread. So let's see. It's this is T1, but it's implementing a runnable. So runnable's run method is going to be run, and the thread which is going to be started, two are different threads. Uh, mhm. All right, this might be the case here. There's a compilation error here. This, but it's a very naive thing which is happening here because okay, I'm going with comparison error for now. I'll revisit this question. So question number 14. Um, so assert false, while true. So this is going to be comparison error here. Because, okay, line 14 is going to be comparison error because it's unreachable code. So what will be the output of the program? So here we have static int I void foo int bar. Okay. So assertion how it works is that it evaluates the expression, and if it is true, it's fine. If it is false, it's going to throw an assertion error with a message from this method. So it's going to first go to bar 7 and it's going to print bar and return y. Okay, return. Oh, sorry. Okay, return. It's going to print bar and then it return whatever. So hold on. So it's going to go to bar 7 and it's going to throw an assertion error. Return y equal to z, which is actually going to be 0. Uh, and then it's going to return foo of 8. Foo of 8 means foo of 8 is going to be bar and foo. Okay, bar and foo. No. So it's going to return y. It's going to throw an assertion error. Um, bar and done. Okay, bar and done seem to be the right answer because once it throws an assertion error, we can we'll have to return control back. So bar is going to be the one which I'm going ahead with, but I may be wrong. Okay, compilation fails. Well, static. So I'm doubtful again on this question, but assert t greater than 0, which is false. So it's going to go to this method. It's going to start. It's going to print bar, and then it's going. Then the question is return y. Then the return statement is return y equal to z, which is 0, y equal to z. So which is 0, 0. Sorry, 7. Because 7 is going to be returned. So bar 7. It has to go, it has to print the assertion error with 7 as output. And then it's going to just end the and the method. Now there seems to be some gap in my understanding here. Something is wrong, so I'll revisit this question. Let's go to question number 16. Which of the following statements is true? So in a assert statement, the expression after colon can be any Java expression, which is actually can be any Java expression. It has to be a string ideally. Um, in a if a switch block has no default, adding an assert default is considered appropriate. That's because you would want the method to fail. If an assert statement, in an assert statement, if the expression after the colon does not have value, will be empty, which is true actually. After colon does not have value. Uh, okay, but this statement is not entirely true. Okay, it will be zero or it will going to be empty. Okay, message will be empty. It'll have an assertion error message still. It is appropriate to handle assertion failures using a catch clause, which is not right. So B seems to be most appropriate. Question number 17. Uh, class test 2 static index int foo main string arch asserts z greater than 0. So question is which line is is an example of inappropriate use of assertions. Line 11 is okay, line 12 is okay, line 14 is okay. Line 22, you cannot actually do, you cannot go get ahead with increment operator here. So line 22 is the wrong one. What will be the output of the following program? So it's going to concat zero point 0.5 here, no issues with that because it's a string, it's immutable, it's assigned back to a string. We're going to parse double and we're going to get 42.5. Double dot to string is going to be 42.5 again. We're going to do a ceiling with double dot value of 42.5 of double value, okay, of the string, and then getting the double value out of it. And then we have 43 should be the outcome here. Question number 19. Um, we're going to replace, we have string here, string buffer here. String replace text string. So we're going to replace Java with, there's going to be string replace. So there is string immutability, and this is mutable. So we are going to have Java replaced by, we are going to have Java replaced by text dot append C. So append C, Java and Java C. So output is going to be Java, Java C. Because string is immutable and string buffer is mutable, and we're going to append C, and uh, it's going to modify the object, and we're going to get Java, Java C. What will be the output of the following program? So we have false B2, B1 dot boolean value. Okay, so false is here. Boolean B2 will also be false, and again it's going to assign to a false. If not B2, which is true, and B2 is going to be true. So we're going to say system.print and an X, so X is going to be the outcome, and then B1 and B2, which is false and if false and false, which is actually false, and then ZXZ, so XZ is output. Okay, so let's go back to the questions which we had issues with. So just one, yeah. Even before that, let's go back again. Question number 1 was fine, 2 was fine, 3 was fine, 4 was okay, 5 was also fine, 6 was fine, 8 was fine, 9 was kind of tricky, but that seems to be correct. Question number 10. Question number 10. Yeah, that's fine. Question number 11. 11, 11 is also fine. 12th was, yeah, so this one also seemed to be okay. Question number 13. Yeah, this was 13, the unlucky number. So my understanding seems to be wrong here. Mm, new thread of run. So these are two different, so conceptually, there are two different threads which are formed from the same runnable implementation. So internally there's the same object. Okay, now once they are being called, it's not going to be a deadlock under any circumstance. It cannot determine output. Now, all right. So if we are to get ahead with any option, it has to be compilation error. But there is no solid reasoning to say it's a compilation error. So T1 dot start. So I'm going to start a thread using a runnable, and it has to show me an illegal thread state exception. If that was not the case, then okay. So like I said, this is the issue here. Yeah, it seems to be because of brace. Yeah, okay. So I found the yeah, I had already found the answer. Okay, let's go to question number 14, 15. Yeah, but I may be wrong here. We'll find that out later. And question number 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So here, I think we are fine with everything. Um, okay, this one. Yeah, this question number 15. So this is another question we have. Assertion here. It's going to be a false assertion. So it's going to go and call invoke the bar 7. It's going to just this ideally has to throw an assertion error. And we're having an assert statement. Hmm, seems like because of line 18, the compilation is going to fail. But I may be wrong here. There is some concept in assertion that I'm not very clear with. It seems like the compiler is going to detect this T0, and this is going to be like an unreachable code kind of situation. And from line 18, the compilation is going to fail. So I'm going to go ahead with this answer. I may be wrong. Okay, let's go ahead and click on uh, submit test. Okay. Oh, so I've got 19 out of 20, and there's a mistake that I've made. So let's go and find out which was the wrong answer. Uh, all seem to be correct. Is it question number 13? Yes. So let's go ahead and see. Okay, so thread going to start here, and thread is going to start here. And like I said, there is no logical reasoning of why it has to be a. All right. So the understanding is that now, if a thread is going to run out of the same runnable object, we are going to call start is going to start different thread objects T1 and T2, but on the same runnable object. But the run okay, so that was the point. I missed a point there. So it's going to be called on the instance, and it's going to ideally. So this is going to because the braces are optional here. So that was not the point here. I just thought that was the point. So it's going to pick up the statement and going to call 12 and 12, but it's going to do this about one time only because of one reason. This entire block is going to be one thing, but this statement is not going to be considered as part of the block. So it's all about a missing parenthesis. If the parenthesis was placed here and there, it would have printed this about 2000 times. Now it's going to print only about 12, 12, and the next iteration. And because it's the same number that's going to be printed, we know the order is going to be um, like order is immaterial. Okay, fine. That should be the right explanation for this question. All right, so I got 19 out of 20, which is about 95 percentage. Okay, guys, thank you for watching.